Good afternoon, folks. Warp103 bringing you another video. This time here we are in the 703 version 2. So I'm going to tell you my feelings, my first impressions of this vehicle. So sit back, relax, and of course, enjoy the show.
I'm gonna have to rain down a godly fucking firestorm on you.
Okay, folks. There's actually supposed to have been a video coming up before this. It was supposed to be the IS-4, 2 battles inside of it, which I was facing a bunch of these tanks. But that video is going to come at a later time because really, once I got the tank myself, I was going at it at the perspective of me facing it in battle and basically owning it each time, because there was a bunch of them. People had it when it first came out. You had like 2-3 on a team normally all the time. So it was like, okay, I'm gonna speed this up just a bit. Since there's like 2 or 3 on the team and I'm facing it, I can get a feeling of how the tank actually is, you know, when you're actually facing the tank, right? So you can say, okay, well, this tank is great, this tank sucks to face, whatever the case may be. You know, we all have a feeling when you face a tank how that tank is. If it's good, bad, or ugly. Is it overpowered? Is it not overpowered? What have you. Now I'm about to make a lot of people mad that are unicorns and everything else like that, because my feelings on this tank is that it's basically crap. Yes, you heard me, crap. Now, the newcomers, oh, you don't know how to play it. You just don't know what you're doing. Okay, let me explain something to you. I'm coming at this at the perspective of a normal tanker in the game, not somebody that's a Unicron, somebody that's average. Even though my stats say a little bit above average, but I'm just saying someone that's average at the game. Okay. An average tanker is not going to have a crew that has 4, 5 skills to it. He's going to have basically a crew that has going to have 1 skill, meaning that if he has his tank as a premium, or he's got it as a premium and he's went down the Russian branch, he's going to have a tank that's going to have a full set of skills, and then he'll have 1 that's partially done for the average player. Now, if they didn't go down the Russian heavy line, they're not even going to have that. So this crew here literally is from my IS-4. It has 1 complete full skills, meaning that I have 6 cents and repairs, and then I'm working on the various other skills in the second set that, of course, later on you would reset, you know, to get brothers in arms. So you'll have, the stats would be better, because of course with brothers in arms and everything else that is great, or it'd be better. So if you don't have brothers in arms, you don't have running it with food, it's not that great. Aim time, too long. Now, you have to picture this versus what people have called an OP tank. Defender, meaning that you go to Defender, you don't really care. The gun stats in Defender are terrible, but you basically go in and slide that because no one can pin you, blah, blah, blah. You're laughing at it. The tier 6s, 7s, and 8s trying to pin you, ha, 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 ha. Tier 9s, some of the tier 9s can pin you, some can't. You still, ha, ha. Only when you get into a tier 10 battles when, you know, your armor starts folding up more, you know, and everything else. But you're at tier 8 and you're in a tier 9 battle, of course, it's not supposed to go well. But being in a tier 8, all the lower tiers below me, it's like that. Basically, I'm sitting there chucking, you know, shots at them. It's, with this tank here, it does nothing. But as soon as you get in the same tier, okay, the battle before this, I had a Sonoma, full gold loadout, basically just blast me in the face. Because the cheeks right here, pinnable with gold. Tier 8 gold at that. So it's not like it's like I could just drive forward and it's like that even with somebody shooting gold. It's no. So again, if you're a unicorn, Unicron, whatever you want to call yourself and everything else, and you're very good and you have a super skilled crew, yes, you can make this tank just work. You can make it just say, I don't care what you say. I'm just gonna walk up and slide that and shoot you in the face. But the gun handling on this, though it is better than the Defender and better than the the IS-3A, it still doesn't come into the fact of tanks like, I don't know, the Patriot. But comrade, it's double barrel. The double barrel, you can eliminate the tanks from the game. Okay. Basically, then you're saying that this tank is the KV-2 of Tier 8. Now, the KV-2, don't get me wrong, is a fun tank. But no one's going to call that tank overpowered. Now, when you're facing the lower tiers, of course, yes, it's overpowered because you can one-shot them. But when you're facing same tier in the KV, a little bit harder. When you're bottom tier in the KV, it's like that, you can still get some stuff done when you're using the dirt gun, but you're not John Wayne inside and it's like, I don't care, come out, blah, you're dead. No, that's not how it works. Now you see in this battle here and everything else, so that, our top tiers, again, I'm not top tier in this battle, I'm in tier 8. It's a tier 9 battle. Our top tiers are doing crap on my team. So the gun handling, let's go with this. Now the real problem with this is, unlike the KV, where you can say bloom and take a person out and everything else, that you have to think of like this. You have the IS-3A that has 3 shots. So basically he can come up to you, bow, shoots it the first time, even if he doesn't pin you, and he still has 2 more shots to wail on you. Then he has his standard reload. This here, you only have 2 shots. And if you use a double barrel, well, you're basically, like I said, the KV-2, whereas you're waiting 20 seconds, again, so when you don't have the fabulous crew and everything else of that, to get after, they can say, okay, he shot his double barrel, and this is assuming that you pinned. The other guy can come around and say, he shot his thing, he's 20 seconds, if he's got a fast enough gun, fast enough reload, he can get his 2 shots off, maybe even the 3rd, before you can reload. So, it's a thing of, is the gun powerful? It can be for lower tiers, but once you go higher tiers, no. Okay, well, so it's not that powerful. Hey, what about, since I have this gun, I can say, I can wail on persons like that, double barrel, and just eliminate them from the game. Yes, that is possible to do, but the the IS-3 can do it better. And no one's saying that tank is super overpowered. Now, it's a debate. Some people say that is overpowered. Some people say it's not. Now, a lot of the YouTubers and everything else like that, when it first came out, saying, it was overpowered and everything else like that. And now they've almost all walked it back. Why? Because the gun handling on it is so dang bad. It's the same thing with this. The gun handling on this thing is just absolute trash. Because it's just standard Russian 122. Meaning that if you don't get close enough, you're not hitting anything. Oh, wait. Unless you yell Russia, and then you shoot on the move and it disconnects. So, again, you can have games where you're just a god. You're just snapshotting left, right, and center. You can't base it off that. You got to base it off of consistency. Can you consistently put up the numbers with this tank? Now, people never like to bring up, it's like, okay, super skilled players like Skill for You and watch them all the time. It's like that. God damn it. I'm sorry, I can't think of his name. Other YouTubers like that, Sircon. Sorry, brain fart. Sircon and everything else that could make this thing work. Okay. First off, Sircon and the rest of them usually have a gaming rig that, you know, is epic. I have a gaming mouse, but the button that you would normally use to try to use the setup for the charge thing is so small that you can't really reliably hold on to it and say, you know, okay, let me charge it up. Because you notice when they play it, they'll always constantly have that button on the charge thing, and so it's never really not fully charged. It's never really waiting the full time for it to charge up. They're normally on it to partially charge it, let it go before it's done. Partially charge, let it go before it's done. So when it comes around the corner, next to that person, blah, they can hit that person reliably. But the problem you run into that is like, hey, if you don't have a gaming mouse to do this with, you're like, okay, if you have a regular mouse or a 3-person mouse, the game is set up where you cannot set the charge cycle to the right mouse button, which sucks. Because if you can put the right mouse button, okay, you can hold the charge on that one there and everything else there, and then use it this way that the other guys are doing. But you can't do that. So for me, it's consistency. You cannot consistently do good in this. The gun itself, it's a typical Russian, you know, 1 minute it can snapshot and hit anything, the next minute it can't hit jack. That's my problem with this tank here. It's bouncy. You can see I was doing work against, you know, some tiers above me. But if you get into a tier 10 game and you get guys like, as you've seen on my team and everything else, that, you know, where your top tiers are not the greatest players in the world, you're going to get effed. Because top tiers can basically just shoot you in the face. Again, I have an IS4 video that I haven't posted and everything else, so that where I was facing these double barrel when they first came out, which is basically 2 weeks ago, and all I did is gold right to the face. Previous battle before I played this one here, so that it was the same thing. I got eaten up by a Sonoma shooting gold to the face. So it's a novelty. That's great if you can make it work. Again, the main problem is the reload is a bit too long. Now, what I mean by reload, I'm talking about the reload between the interclip reload. That's just way too long, because again, even the IS3 and A, and then I've played on the friend's account, so I just wanted to see play it before I bought it for that. It's much better to actually fire the gun. You know, it's much smoother. You can get those 3 out. I understand what they're trying to do, so you can't just, but if you already have the IS3A that can, you know, shoot and then shoot again, and it has a 3rd shot, why would you make this one so deficient with how long between the next shot? Literally, I've multiple times, I'm like, I shot something, like, okay, come on. I waited 3 seconds, I'm hitting the button, and it's like, nothing. It's broken. No, and I got killed. Why? Because I didn't. 5 seconds is an eternity. You know, I'm going to, you know, just look at it yourself and everything else. I mean, don't think of this as indicative of the games played and stuff like that. Don't think it's just because I'm at 60% inside this tank, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's just not. Now, granted, I'm not using a super duper crew. I'm using, you know, basically I have repairs and, you know, 6 cents, and all the rest of the stuff is not even out of first skill. So now if you're watching Skill for You, Des Games, and all these well-known YouTubers and everything else to that, they're not putting in a tank that basically, I mean, they're not putting in a crew that's this unskilled. They're not running with just a fire extinguisher. They're running food. They're running brothers in arms. They're running a couple of skills that's going to give you snapshot and everything else like that. Yeah. Then it'll make this tank decent. But you can't make it so that it's, you know, on a normal basis when you first started out, it's decent. Not decent. No wonder when I face guys like, oh, I got the double barrel. They just need the double barrel and bouncing and everything else like that. I shot the double barrel a couple of times, bounce. And I went back to shooting one at a time because I know if I can get the first shot in, track him. If he gets a shot at me, great, I can come in. If we trade, he loses. But against an autoloader, against a TD, against anybody that says, I'm going to use gold, this tank is trash. If you're facing the low tiers, you're going to rip through them like it's butter. That's what I have to say about it and everything else to that. You know, take what I have to say with a grain of salt. Again, like I said, I'm not using the expert crews and everything else of that. Again, with expert crews so that and a lot of battles on them, I might feel differently. But for right now, just all right, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hit the like, subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. For now, this is Warp103 saying warp out, have fun, and we'll catch you on the next one.